Well, our next presenter is the face of the Yellow Ribbon program here at Lipscom, a Citadel graduate and a 10-year veteran of the U.S. Army Special Forces. Captain David Hughes was awarded the Purple Heart and 2 Bronze Star Service Awards while serving 3 combat tours, including Operations Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Today, he is the Assistant Dean of Students and Director of the Yellow Ribbon program at Lipscom, and every veteran on campus knows where his office is. Governor Bredesen appointed him the Governor's Council on Service Members, Veterans, and their families, and recently he became involved with the Sentinels of Freedom, and he's here with a very special announcement about that program. Would you please make welcome David Hughes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And for those of you that are returning for a second time, thank you for your continued support. For those of you that are here for the first time, welcome. And we hope that you are all enjoying the evening so far and you continue to do so. Operation Yellow Ribbon has allowed us to grow our veteran population that attends tuition-free from 32 to 75 veterans in just one short year. We're very proud to offer this experience for our returning veterans, but we realize that we can do more. We want our veteran population to feel welcome here on campus, and I would like to share a few of the efforts that we have taken so that they do feel welcome here. Internally at Lipscom, we have taken measures within our Career Development Center. They have gone above and beyond to teach themselves the best way to serve our veterans and assist them with building a viable resume so that when they hit the workforce, they're ready. We have a veteran campus organization that we strive to grow that every year so that our veterans stay informed of what is happening on campus with their benefits, and it's also a means to connect them so that they know who each other are. But we've also reached out into the Nashville community to develop partnerships. We've organized a medical mission trip to Ghana, West Africa for this summer. We'll be partnering with Dr. David Vanderpool and Mobile Medical Disaster Relief, and we're proud to be joining him to do that this summer. We're also proud to be joining forces with Dr. Michael Burcham and his team at the Nashville Entrepreneur Center. I believe Dr. Burcham is over here, right back there. He is, his center is prepared to help launch ideals that will help our veterans enter into the community with business ideals and grow those ideals. Dr. Burcham is a veteran himself. He's organized an all-star veteran committee with representation from his Entrepreneur Center, Lipscom University, representatives of Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and the West Point and Citadel Alumni Associations here in Nashville. We're very excited about that partnership with the Nashville Entrepreneur Center, enabling our veteran entrepreneurs to utilize their leadership skills in the business world. But now I want to tell you about a special program that's near to my heart. It's an organization called the Sentinels of Freedom. The Sentinels of Freedom, they offer a 4-year scholarship to severely wounded warriors, and it's designed to provide education, housing, transportation needs, employment, and probably most important of all, a mentorship team within each given community that a Sentinels program is placed. I'd like for you to watch a video now to learn more about this life-changing organization.
Sentinels of Freedom really started as an honoring program to honor young men and women who were leaving our high schools at the end of 4 years and had joined the service. When 9/11 happened, we went to a little more different approach, and that was to honor anyone in the military as they came home at any time. As a result of a couple of young men getting injured and wounded, one of them my son, I developed the concept that we needed to try and provide a more comprehensive package for the individuals as they came home. Something that a community could do and not totally depend on the Veterans Administration or the government, something that would be considered our responsibility.
It is just unbelievable what happens when they get critically wounded. The military tries to take care of its own, and the VA is fabulous, but once they walk out with a total disability, even though they still have medical care available to them, they're just out the door. Many of them are fortunate enough to have family and friends and a good network of people that are going to help them get back and have whatever quality of a life they can have. Some of them do not have that. When I heard about Sentinels of Freedom, I thought, if they could do what they have done on such a limited scale, why couldn't RE/MAX throw some of our resources into it? Be a primary sponsor, not the only sponsor. And with the resources we have, such as the RE/MAX satellite network, the filming ability, the ability to build training materials on how other brokers could do the same thing this individual did on a grassroots effort, it made all the sense in the world.
I think the program can be spread to other communities. I think it requires a few things. It requires leadership, either a board and/or individuals that are really passionate about making it happen and seeking out candidates that are interested in a particular community. But it's tough at the start because you have to have some folks with vision that have to kind of see through a fairly long cycle in getting it rolling and have the energy and endurance to make it happen. And that isn't a 1 week, 2 week kind of instant reward. It takes 6 to 12 months to really get the first individual in the right environment and go.
Sentinels of Freedom came to us. One of the first things they approached us is, we're not a charitable organization. We're not a charity. We want these people to come on board, work hard, and earn it on their own. And that's every individual I've met that's come out of Sentinels of Freedom has had that same can-do, go-get-it attitude. Terrific individuals. My personal philosophy is we have a lot to, we owe a lot to each and every one of these returning veterans. And I mean, it's something we should all step out of the box, take a look around and see what we can do.
I've told Mike that we can't wait for the next one that he identifies. We're very fortunate right now at Chevron. We're in an environment where we're growing very rapidly. We're investing billions of dollars every year. And to support that, we're hiring thousands of people every year. So we're ready to take on as many as Mike and the organization can identify.
Tonight, it is my distinct honor and privilege to announce that Lipscom University has partnered with the Sentinels of Freedom and will bring this wonderful program to Nashville. I'm also very pleased to announce that Sheriff Darren Hall, our very own Sheriff of Davidson County, has volunteered to be the Sentinels of Freedom team leader here in Nashville. The Sentinels of Freedom is a significant addition to the Yellow Ribbon program, and we're very proud to announce that Marine Staff Sergeant Sam Shainheit will be our first Sentinel Scholarship recipient to attend Lipscom this fall. Sam could not be here tonight, so David Corlew and I went to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and filmed his story. It's a powerful story, and we want to share it with you. Please watch.
June 26, 2008, I was on a team in Afghanistan. We were running security patrols up and down the western side of Afghanistan. we were engaged in an ambush, and I was shot in the head. And I thought it was great as a ricochet. My head was ringing pretty bad, just almost disorienting. I didn't know that part of my skull was hanging. And but I knew something was wrong because my capacity to speak was lost. I remember thinking, I'm fine, get me back up there, but that's not at all what came out. Your adrenaline's pumping, your blood's boiling. It's like, okay, side effects. They evac me anyway. When that adrenaline high wears off, you're tired. And next thing I know, I woke up in Bethesda with a stroke. And I knew from that moment it was a long road to recovery. I remember waking up in the hospital. I knew that I'd been evac'd and I'm no longer in immediate danger. But I woke up with not speaking, and to my surprise, I had had a stroke. It's like, oh wow, this is great. Through the night, I tried to configure the word water. It's like water. The meds they give you in the hospital are dehydrating, to say the least. And I was really thirsty. And my sister, she was there for my first word. It was like, water. And then my mom comes in the next morning, and I said the same thing, water. She's like, water. Longest week of my life. Longest week of my life. Two weeks out, they moved me to Richmond Veteran Hospital, and that's where I received my inpatient rehab. I was hooking and jabbing all the way. I went from a wheelchair to a 4-point cane, to a 3-point cane, to a 1-point cane, to an apparatus in my leg. And just the first 6 months, I was really optimistic about being an operator again. I regained my speech. I regained my ability to walk. I regained my expression. It was a good time.
And Sam's journey is going to continue right here, his new days dawning at Lipscom University and then in the community of Nashville, Tennessee, and it's something we can all be proud of. Because Sam's recovery is nothing less than miraculous. And joining me on the stage is Tony Dieter from Assurion. He is the Senior Vice President of Product Development and Management with Assurion, the local company that is underwriting Sam's scholarship, and he's going to be here to be a part of this presentation. Coming on stage to accept on Sam's behalf is retired Lieutenant Colonel Jay Drescher of the United States Marine Corps. He will be accompanied by Sergeant Victor Garrido and Sergeant Christopher Tucker. They are Marines with India Company 3rd Battalion, 24th Marines.
Sentinels of Freedom Scholarship Foundation, Lipscom University, Assurion, and the community of Nashville, Tennessee hereby award Staff Sergeant Samuel Schoenheit, United States Marine Corps, MARSOC, a life scholarship in honor of his meritorious service and sacrifice to our nation. We shall never leave you. We shall never forsake you. Signed, Michael L. Conklin, Chairman and CEO, Sentinels of Freedom Scholarship Foundation, dated March 29th, 2011. As a Marine, I have never met Sam, but he is my brother. All the Marines treat each other like family. The Marine who performed the national anthem tonight, Sal Gonzalez, you didn't notice it, but where his leg used to be is a piece of titanium and aluminum. His alive day is October 31st, 2004. Like this young man, Sal has been there and done that. They too are brothers. And all of you, because you are here tonight, can be part of that family and can welcome people like Sam and people like Sal and thank them for all that they've given. Give it back. Thank you very much, and Semper Fi.
We look forward to seeing Sam on campus this fall. Sam, he's a warrior at heart, but his new goal is to be a school teacher. And here at Lipscom, we are ready to help him reach that goal. It's great Americans like Staff Sergeant Schoenheit that you can support with your contribution here tonight, so please do as much as you can. Thank you so much for being a part of Operation Yellow Ribbon again this year. God bless you, and God bless America.
Please welcome back to the stage here at the Allen Arena, ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Daniels.
I got the wrong mic. Right mic? Which mic? You hear me now? Okay. Oh, mercy. Thank you, David. That was inspiring, and God bless you. I want to thank all of you folks for coming out tonight and supporting the Yellow Ribbon program. And we're all so proud of our men and women in uniform. And we owe them an unpayable debt of gratitude. We can never pay back what they've done, that they interrupt their lives to go and protect us and keep America free. A future career paid by a college education is a significant way to say thank you. And that's why I'm here tonight, and why I'm sure you're here tonight. And I would like to say that, God willing, we'll see you all back here next year. It's my great honor to introduce our keynote speaker tonight. He's a rancher, a businessman, a best-selling author, grandpa, and a soldier's general. He served 30 years in the U.S. Army, gaining experience in Vietnam, West Germany, and Korea before being promoted to 4-star general and assigned to Commander-in-Chief, Central Command. In his finest hours of military leadership, he led 2 unprecedented simultaneous campaigns by American and coalition forces, Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. General Franks retired from the Army in 2003 with numerous honors: 5 Distinguished Service Medals, 4 Legions of Merit, 4 Bronze Stars, and 3 Purple Hearts. In 2004, President Bush honored him with the nation's highest civilian award, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He's a tough, plain-spoken, and purely American, and I might add, a very funny man. One of the finest military commanders we have ever had, and I am deeply, deeply honored to call him my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, General Tommy Franks.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Tommy Franks, and I approve that message. What a hoot it is to be back at David Lipscom University, to be back in Nashville, out here with the Batman building, out here with real music. Out here with real people. Out here where people recognize that there's something more important than politics. We call it our children and our grandchildren and our freedom. One nation under God. United we stand. Anybody got any questions? I like it in Nashville because out here people talk slow and think fast. That's not how they do it in Washington, D.C. Am I going slow enough for y'all? I heard somebody on the front row say, I wonder when he's going to say something important. Well, the answer is whenever I want to. I'm the general. What a treat it is to be with that gentleman that introduced me. An American legend, a patriot. He takes my breath away and has ever since the first time that I had a chance to be around him with American troopers. Y'all got any questions yet? I know somebody wants to ask me about Libya. Thank you for that question. I don't have a lot to say about it because I'm not up there having to do it. If you turn on your TV, you can see a lot of old people who have opinions about stuff that they don't know very much about. But here's how I look at it, and then we can get serious. There's a little airplane. It's called a Piper Cub. Have you heard of a Piper Cub? Well, to my way of thinking, a limited war is about like a Piper Cub. They're both small, and they will just barely kill you. That's all I have to say about Libya. I'm here to do one thing, and that is to honor, to say thank you to those who serve, to those who have served, and to those who love them. Thank you. Y'all are nice. And in fact, y'all remind me of a speech I gave one time. Am I talking slow enough for y'all? Speech I gave one time on an aircraft carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln, in the Arabian Gulf. I went to visit the Navy troopers, and I was standing up on a little old stage like this, talking to about 5,000 of my closest friends down on the hangar deck where they park the jets when they're not being used. On this day, the jets were being used. I stood up there and I started making a speech like I'm doing now. And the more I talked, the more infatuated I became with the tone of my voice. And I got about halfway through my speech, and somebody stood up right on the front row, Doctor, and just walked out. But being the observant sucker that I am, I noticed that it was the captain of the ship. I finished my speech about another hour and a half. And then I went out and found that sucker. And I said, "Look here, Skipper. How come you got up so abruptly and rudely in the middle of my speech and walked out?" And he looked at me and he said, "I had to go get a haircut." And I said, "I thought you were a Navy man, not a Marine." Aye. I said, Skipper, if you needed a haircut, how come you didn't get it before I started my speech? He said, General, with all due respect, when you started your speech, I didn't need a haircut. I said, okay, Private. I'm only teasing. I didn't really say that. But being a general, it's kind of what everybody expected me to say. So I thought I'd take literary license on that. I'm from Hobart, Oklahoma. How many of y'all been to Hobart, Oklahoma? There's 4 of you. Where do the rest of you go on vacation? Charlie Daniels has been out there doing a concert for us last year, and probably talk him into coming back out maybe next year. It's good country out there. It's like Nashville, but it's smaller. Y'all used to have a professional football team. We never had one in Hobart, Oklahoma. But we do have an annual stick horse reunion out there. Y'all know what a stick horse is? You know, it's like a broom handle with a horse's head on it. We have a reunion every year, and everybody gets together, and we ride stick horses. One guy I know rode a stick horse all the way from Roosevelt, Oklahoma, to Hobart. That's 13 miles. I saw him once he got there. He said he is getting old. I asked him how he knew. He said he is about as tired as if he'd have walked all the way. I grew up out in West Texas. Am I talking slow enough for y'all to? I grew up out in West Texas, out in Midland, out there among the cactus and the bushes. Some of y'all get that on the way home. Not long ago, I had a chance to go back out there, and I like to tell this story. I was out there not long ago, and my high school principal, he's still alive, he came up to me and he said, you's a general. I said, yes, Dr. Hines, and thank you for the compliment. He said, wow. I never meant it as a compliment. He said, my memory of you when you were out here matriculating, I went home and looked it up. Was that you were not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I looked at him and said, "Ain't this a great country?" It is a great country, and it's made great. And its greatness is guaranteed by the lives and the service of men and women like we saw up on that screen 15 minutes ago. And it's made great by the service of men and women in this room who have given for their country all that there was to give. Thank you. So I looked at Dr. Hines and I said, plus the fact of the matter is that if I was not the brightest bulb in the socket, it's at least partly your fault. You're the principal. I said, do you remember Harold Garms? He said, oh yeah. He said, he was your football coach. And I said, that's right, Dr. Hines, and I'll tell you a story about him. Out there in that country, Midland, Odessa, and around in there, that's the real home of Friday Night Lights. And that's where I spent some of my misspent youth. After we were getting ready to play a big football game, and after a real hard practice, our coach, Harold Garms, got everybody together in the training room. And he stood up on one of them old wood Coke boxes that they used to have, a little red box they used to have Coca-Cola bottles in. And he stood there and he looked at us and he said, all right then. All right then. All right then. That's how they talk out there. It's not just Bush. All right then. I want all y'all to pair up in groups of 3 and line up in a circle. I've been worried about that for 45 years. And the hard part was that he was not only my coach, he was also my American history teacher. I like people to hear that story because sometimes when I get ready to say what I'm going to say, people accuse me of not accurately reflecting history. And so I always say, well, it all started in Midland, Texas, with my American history teacher, Harold Garms, while we were circling up, paired up in groups of 3. I related that story to my old principal, Dr. Hines, and he nodded wisely, and he said, my memory is that you went off to school down at the University of Texas. And I said, that's right, I did. Hook 'em horns. And he said, and you flunked out after 2 years, didn't you? And I looked at him in his beady eyes. And I said, ain't this a great country? I'm going to start any minute. So I flunked out of the university, I joined the Army, and I spent 40 years trying to figure out how to get it right. And I didn't always get it right, but I always did respect the lessons that I was being taught by the young people who serve our country and wear uniforms like this right over in here. Thank you, fellas, for what you do for me and for my grandkids. God bless you. As I was growing up in the military, I learned a lot of stuff, but I reckon what I learned above everything else was that freedom ain't free. It's not free. And it never has been. 230 plus years ago, people in this country wanted to be free. And from Lexington and Concord to Gettysburg and Appomattox, from Gettysburg and Appomattox to the Ardennes and Verdun. From there to Pearl Harbor and D-Day and the Battle of the Bulge. And from there to the frozen Chosin. And from there to Way and Anlock. And Saigon. And from there to Grenada, to Panama. From there to Afghanistan, to Iraq, to Libya. Freedom ain't free. Somebody asked me if I'd come down to Lipscom University, a wonderful university in Nashville, Tennessee, and I said, you bet. Because there are going to be people down there who serve, who have served, who appreciate those who do serve, who respect them, love them, care for their families because they know freedom ain't free. This university, with her sponsorship, has decided to support these young people, to see to their education, to meet them, to know them, to care for them, to understand them. To care for their education, because you see, these troopers are just like the rest of America at their age. They have husbands and wives and moms and dads and aunts and uncles and a new red car. They aspire, they have ambition, they seek the American dream, want to have families, and sir, this university helps them do that. We are in their debt. We are in your debt for making available to them the Yellow Ribbon program. Thank you. United we stand. Freedom's not free. America is a land of opportunity. It is guaranteed so and has been throughout the course of a history which may have sought peace, but has yet to produce the first generation to know it. War is not a good thing. War is a bad thing. I've never seen an atheist in a foxhole. I've seen lots and lots of people in foxholes who found it comforting to read Ephesians. You know, the part where we talk about putting on the whole armor of God. Because that which we seek, liberty, freedom, ain't free. Thanks for listening to one guy who has one opinion, who cherishes you, our troopers, and our country. May God bless all of you. May God grant us peace. But until that day, may God grant this nation security. God bless America. God bless David Lipscom. It's my honor to be here, and I thank you. Thank you.
I don't know about you all, but I think he can talk any way he wants to. Another living legend, General Tommy Franks. While you're applauding, could I get another round of applause for all of our performers tonight? The Grascals, Montgomery Gentry, Winona, and the Colonel, Charlie Daniels. Thank you, David Hughes. Thank you, Dr. Lowry. Everyone at Lipscom, it has been an unbelievable night. I am proud to be an American tonight. How about you all? We're here to close our show as a very special group of young people. I informed them backstage that they have the honor of having Charlie Daniels open for them. Would you please make welcome the Lipscom University Vocal Jazz Ensemble, directed by Dr. Gary Wilson, performing a medley of Irving Berlin favorites.
A bunch of frightened rookies were listening, filled with awe. They listened while the sergeant was laying down the law. They stood around attention, their faces turning red. The sergeant looked them over, and this is what he said. This is the Army, Mr. Jones. No private rooms or telephones. You had your breakfast in bed before, but you won't have it there anymore. This is the Army, Mr. Mr. Green. We like the barracks nice and clean. You had a housemaid to clean your floor, but she won't help you out anymore. Do what the buglers command. They're in the army and not in a band. This is the army, Mr. Brown. You and your baby went to town. She had you worried, but this is war, and she won't worry you anymore. A bugler in the army is the luckiest of men. He wakes the boys at 5 and then goes back to bed again. He doesn't have to play again until the afternoon. If everything goes well with me, I'll be a bugler soon. Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I love to remain in bed. For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You've gotta get up, you've gotta get up, you've gotta get up this morning. Someday I'm going to murder the bugler. Someday they're going to find him dead. I'll amputate his reveille and step upon it heavily and spend the rest of my life in bed. We'll follow the old man wherever he wants to go, long as he wants to go opposite to the foe. We'll stay with the old man wherever he wants to stay, long as he stays away from the battle fray. Because we love him, especially when he keeps us on the ball. And we'll tell the kiddies we answer duty's call, with the grandest son of a soldier of them all. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Fantastic way to wrap up tonight. What do you think? The Lipscom University Jazz Ensemble. Well, thank you all again for coming out tonight. Simple to say, God bless our military men and women, and God bless Lipscom University. Good night, everybody. I'm Stormy Warren. Have a safe trip back home. Thanks for everything. Good night.